Good evening, and it is Saturday evening here in Dalian, China, 5:48 p.m. to be precise. This is just a stream of conscious update. There's no agendas, there's no script, there's no bullet points. Just talking off the top of my head. Um, I am starting with a new online client tonight, longtime customer. Um, if I understand properly, he's much more advanced in the bodybuilding world than I am. So I will be more or less serving as a cheerleader slash motivator. So I don't even want to call it online training. It's better to call it online coaching. I don't want to mislead anyone. He'll be doing his own workout, and I'll just be um, motivating him. I'll be looking for little tips and pointers, but mostly it's all him. So that should be interesting. November 18 is the projected grand opening for our store in Surat, Ilocos Norte, Philippines. Uh, we have more and more stock coming every day. Everything's about ready. There's only one thing missing, and that's us. So we're waiting to go. Maybe they can get like a big cutout cardboard picture of us um, to stand at the door on the front day. Who knows? Um, Wife's a little under the weather today. You feeling any better, honey?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. That's a good sign. She put in a lot of hard work today. We have two coat racks. One is used for clothing, and the other one is used for my resistance band collection. Uh, so we decided we were not happy, or she was not happy with the present setup. So everything had to come down. We had to reassemble. She had to reassemble all of the racks, reorganize it. I like it much better the way it is now because there's about a 6-inch difference in height between the two racks. And the shorter one, which at that time held the resistance bands, was in the back. So you had to kind of like reach over to get what you wanted. Now the taller one is in the back. The ironic thing is the taller one, which we had the clothes on originally, was bowing forward. And there really wasn't a way of tightening it other than like using bungee cords or gluing in the extensions. So the bands weigh much less than the jackets and sweaters and hoodies and stuff. So now both racks rather, are more balanced. Um, Always thinking about racks when I'm near my wife, but hopefully she didn't get that joke. We'll find out. What else is going on? So I have that new session tonight. Should be different. Well, it's definitely going to be different. Should be enjoyable. Um, Not going to rant to you about all the other things I did the other night, but none of them have really been resolved yet. Um, just one day further into it, so I'm not as stressed as I was a day ago or a couple days before that. Um, Dogs are by my side as always. Last night we went out to a nice restaurant in a district that's called Oriental Venice. There's a little canal system there, and you can ride a gondola. But there's also some very nice restaurants there. Some of them were closed because of the COVID scare. Also, maybe because it's a beach area and it was pretty cold last night. So there's could be a couple reasons. It seems like the places that serve seafood and sushi are more than likely to be closed than other establishments. Um, but anytime we get to spend with my goddaughter and my adopted sister is a good time. So that's worth it. That's my wife's elbow. She's giggling. So I'm just, here chatting, freestyling, if you will, depending on how that session goes and the subsequent dinner afterwards, because it'll be a little bit later. So if we do decide to go out, it's going to be someplace local. We have places around here that will be open a little bit later and that recognize us and appreciate our patronage. So that's not an issue. And if we have enough food in the refrigerator and the pantries to keep us going. That's not a problem either. So either way will be good. Um, and of course, there's also delivery service, which is usually the unhealthiest choice of them all. But you can't be a saint at all times. Okay. Still have a little carnitine left. It does the trick. It's not the greatest tasting thing in the world. But I don't take supplements for taste. To me, they're tools. If they taste good, fine. But it's not a requirement. Everybody's different when it comes to that. So if flavor is important to you, I'm not slighting you in any way. Go for it. Had a very good leg workout today with the resistance bands. Again, I've been sticking to resistance bands predominantly. I just don't trust the gyms around here. They're closing willy-nilly. And then the ones that are only being closed for COVID, you can't count on the time that they say they're going to be open or reopen. Some of them take 3 days, some of them take 3 weeks. There's no rhyme or reason that I'm aware of anyway. I don't know everything, believe it or not. So I'm just piling up on the resistance bands. Speaking of resistance bands, when we did reorganize them, I found 6 more bands that I basically forgot I had. They work in tandem in like a, I don't even know what you call it, but you can use like a spreader thing, like if you were expanding your chest, an expander, I think it's called. Anyway, so you might argue that it's only 3, but it's 6 separate bands, and they could be used separately for other things. So I think I'm up to about 37, 38 resistance bands now. So I can pretty much upload, listen to me, I'm talking computer ease. I can load on pretty much as much weight as I could at the gym, and in some cases more. I love the straight bar. I forgot about that until about a week ago. That really replicates certain moves like the barbell curl. I use it for pull downs, straight arm pull downs. I tried it with squats, but it was just the movement didn't feel comfortable. The bar was a little too short, I think. And there's a variety of exercises that I haven't tried it with too. Bent over rows, I used it. Different things. So mainly back and triceps. A little bit of chest, a little bit of biceps. Legs, not really. I told you about the squat, but other than that, no. But today's legs was very good. Excuse me. I started out with squats, resistant band, hands held up here. And each time I added at least 1 or 2 bands to go heavier. Usually when I go heavier, I have to drop the reps 1 or 2. This time, lately actually, since I've been doing the resistance bands at home, I'm able to keep up the 12 reps across all weights, which really indicates that I need to increase the weight even more. That's the hard thing, though, is establishing a baseline. And then remembering it. I'm writing really detailed notes about which bands I used and which combination, how I hooked them, where the door anchor was, blah, 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 blah. So these are the most detailed notes I've ever written when it comes to working out. And I'm sure over the next few weeks, it'll become more natural. But the band weight will increase. That I guarantee you. So that part, I need the notes for. Because I am a big believer in the progressive overload theory. Each time you got to go a little bit heavier or get another rep out. Body's very adaptable. If you do the same thing every time, the body will adjust to it and muscle growth won't happen. And that's really what I'm all about, or hope to be all about. I was thinking of shaving my head totally bald while school is out, because I've always been curious about it. I think I would look good. The only thing that scares me is that I have some pretty deep scars from both stitches and staples, um, mostly from my wrestling days, but some other stuff from my college days that I don't want to go into. Um, so I've always been concerned with how that would look. And since school is going to be closed for an undisclosed amount of time, we've been told prepare for a month. I was just curious because I know I can grow enough hair back in a week that you wouldn't even see it. But my wife is not thrilled with that idea, so I guess I won't do it. Here's dog 2. They're getting a bath tomorrow from the groomers, if the groomers are open. I can understand if something like this is closed during pre-lockdown conditions. I get it. He likes to dance. He dances a lot better with my wife, though. Right, Dumpling? He likes all kinds of music, too. He likes fast-paced Latino pop the best, I think. But he does good with some rap, too. I must say, I'm surprised. Get out of here, you little runt. So here we are. I've been ranting for 11 minutes, almost 30 seconds. Really haven't said anything significant. Really don't have much to say. I've addressed some issues that have been disturbing me privately. If there's a resolution, I'll update you at the right time when it's appropriate. I'm going to spend most of tomorrow going back to my old videos and tagging them to help promote them appearing in more searches. I have about 700 subscribers right now. You need to reach 1,000 to become monetized, but that's only one step, I believe. I believe it's also based on time of each video watched. So number of views, time watched, maybe even likes, I'm not sure. So again, I ask your support. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like every video that you watch, make a comment, watch it all the way through. This is not exactly ethical, but if you're going out, just go onto my channel. Please click play all, turn off the volume, the speaker, and help my numbers grow. It would be great. It would definitely be very exciting. My numbers, just like my business, are shaky. I mean, the other night I went to bed with 701, and I woke up with 671 subscribers. I don't know what drove away 30 people overnight. Then it built back up again. I was as high as 698, I believe, and now I'm back down to 692. It's just disappointing. Yeah, I may as well confess to you. I hired a service to help me build subscribers, and I just don't understand if the service is doing their job. And I've seen a significant jump from what I had. Don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of disappointing to see the numbers go down. I'd rather not see them get that high than to see them go down. And that's probably the nature of their business, but no one's ever explained that to me. Nobody said, oh, don't be concerned if they go up or down. That's normal. When I've contacted them for customer service, they say they'll look into it. One of them said it's fixed when it went down, 2 more since then, but I would just be more comfortable if I had an explanation why it happens. Is there anything I can do to prevent it? Is it just the nature of the beast? I don't like things open-ended, as you could probably tell. I like things to be closed. I like closure, and I like to move on to the next task. And like I said, the next task right now is to add tags to all the videos that I've posted over the last 2 or 3 months, and it's quite a bit. So that's something I'm going to investigate. Well, not I'm going to begin it. There's a bunch of old YouTube wrestling matches of me floating out there in the general YouTube public, never been on my channel. I'm going to upload, yes, no, download some of those, and then upload them onto my channel. Just beware that those matches are very random. I was not the one who posted them. They're not necessarily my best or worst matches. Unfortunately, most of the matches with the WWE stars have been lost in the archives, and some of it, believe it or not, got lost to VCR. And held off too long before I transferred it to DVD. In most cases, had a flood in my basement back in the house. Pretty much everything was destroyed. So my Jimmy Snuka match, which is my all-time favorite, doesn't seem to be available anywhere. My Nikolai Volkov matches, definitely not my favorite matches, but I can tell you a lot of good stories from them. Not available. Tito Santana match, not available. Thanks to RPWF, I do have my Billy Gunn match, my Ivory match, but I don't have my championship match where I won. I don't have my match against Sal Sincere, the only WWE guy who put me over. So a lot of that footage is missing. And just some fun stuff. I did, even without titles, I've had a lot of fun matches. The one I wrestled at the guy's wedding, they're divorced, so I guess they're not going to share that one with me. It's different. The one at Dr. Frank's house, the famous WWE doctor, not the steroid doctor, a different one. Gone. Luckily, the roller derby match was saved, though. Go back in my footage and look at that one if you want to laugh. It was me and Vince Bono. It was supposed to be the owner, Pinky Pinkerton, I believe was his name at the time. Connected my dog collars around the neck on roller skates. He challenged me to the match a year before it was scheduled to happen, which I thought was very funny to do for an indie thing, because who cares what happens next week, let alone what happens next year. But as next year rolled around, he chickened out and put his top stooge, and I mean that respectfully, Vince Bono, put the dog collar on his neck. We did with what we could with what we had. Excuse me. That same night, I was also under the Kim Chi gimmick for Kamala. Very nice man as well. Most of these guys I worked with were very nice, the legends. Christian, no. Sandman, definitely not. New Jack, don't make me laugh. But everyone else was pretty good. Can't complain. I worked Billy Gunn multiple times, and wasn't even when I didn't work him, we were able to hang out together. And I remember one of my favorite things was they hired him after the matches to conduct a training session, and he was trying to teach them stuff, and the people were just really, 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 really bad. So Billy got to the point where he said, if I can't work with Steve, I'm going home. And that meant a lot to me. He, not to work a match, but just to demonstrate the moves, and someone he trusted and someone who could listen. So that was important to me. I was thinking about some other things too tonight. There was 2 dressing rooms. One was, I think it was AAWF. I'm not even sure. It was run by Harley Watkins. Later, I would hold the tag team championship with him for a few months, and for some reason, we were very over. I really don't know why. We had nothing in common. The team was thrown together the night of the championship, and people liked us. But before, I had only seen him once or twice at a couple World Star Wrestling Federation shows. And the other one was John Rambo from NWL. What was it? NWL, HOPWF. I don't know what it was. But both of them, when I showed up in their locker rooms for the first time, unsolicited, introduced me to their locker room and said, Steve's a veteran. He's been around a long time. Anything he says, make believe it's coming from me. Do it, no questions asked. And that was pretty cool. I haven't come across that often. There's more jealousy and insecurity in most locker rooms than that. So that's pretty cool. A lot of cool things have happened. A lot of shitty things have happened. Showing up for places and being unbooked with driving 3 hours. Oh, we scrapped that match, Steve. That happened in SWO. That was the last time I ever worked for them. They put me to appease me. They put me in a three-way with guys who had already wrestled in a different gimmick that same night. So it was just to make me happy, but didn't make me happy. I had one. It was a free charity show in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, the famous Hamburg Fieldhouse, where WWE did all its TV tapings, or a good majority of them. And I clearly told the promoter weeks and weeks in advance that I will be there at 4 p.m. And I got there probably a little bit earlier. And the booker, Rockin' Rebel, said it was a 1 o'clock call. I said, well, I stated that. I made that arrangement. It was no problem with the promoter. Well, nobody told me that. I'm not changing anything. This was obviously before he recreated the Chris Benoit thing. Yeah, like I said, this is a stream of consciousness. I've been all over the place. I have my head is turning towards my new reflex bag. It's a piece of boxing equipment where I am incorporating that into my cardio. Cardio has become kind of boring to me, always was kind of boring to me. So I like to do what I call practical cardio that gives me some kind of a skill. So boxing fits that. Even jump rope fits that because I'm learning something that I can't really do and that I'm not good at all. So I like things like that as opposed to running on a treadmill or going on a stationary bike and ending up in the same destination I started. I have to build up the time. I'm not obviously, I'm not going to go box for 30 minutes straight. I'm not going to jump rope for 30 minutes straight like I would do on the exercise bike, for example. But I'm getting there. And besides, I don't believe in that kind of cardio anyway. I'm more of a HIIT man, high intensity interval training, which suggests going very, very fast for a selected period of time, and then going at a much slower pace for double that time, and just repeating the cycle over and over again for about 15 minutes. And that would be better than a 45-minute to an hour steady bicycling or treadmill. So you get the benefits quicker, same benefits, faster, and then you can move on with the rest of your evening. Okay, how long now? 22 minutes. My training session starts, or my coaching session starts in 50 minutes. So I am going to click the red end stream. Talk to you all later. I used to end this with a particular phrase, which I'm avoiding these days. So have a good night.